wide receiver. He's making not only good catches, but he looks like his route running is taken off in the last couple of years. Where can he end up, not only this year, but in the future?
No, that's up to him. He's made a lot of big plays. He has improved. I think that's a real fair assessment, and the good news is he's got potential to really continue to improve. So, he's having a good year right now, and we all think he can play at a higher level, and he'd be the first to tell you that. And we'll let that play out too.
You averaged 34 points in the first 8 games and 17 in the last 2. Why the drop off by 1/2?
What I would say is last week, third down, the week before, down in the red zone, shut the book. Up until then, we've been pretty good in both those circumstances, and when you don't operate well in those 2 areas, it's tough to be productive offensively.
Coach, the senior class is a pretty big one. Can you kind of talk about what they've meant to this program?
Yeah, first of all, we expect a great crowd. As Phil mentioned, it's been sold out, and senior days are always really special. We've got 26 guys, and they're always hard. They're always it's part of college football. You always it's like your children leaving the home. But it's part of the process, and I can't say enough about what this group's done. I'll say more about it as the week goes on, but what they've done collectively and individually is just very, very impressive. We've got a wide range of guys that have played a long time, 3 years, 4 years in some cases, and then you've got other guys that are interesting, guys like Pacquiao O'Meara, who's been a great role player for us, special teams player, and a guy like Josh Keppel, who came here as a walk-on. Pacquiao came here as a walk-on. Josh has filled in and done a great job the last 2 weeks, and has been a really good, solid player for us for about 3 years now. And you go right down the list there: Ross Peterson, Donnie Nordman, guys like that, Andy Schultz. And then you got some other guys that are, most people wouldn't recognize the names, but a guy like Justin Greiner, who's probably the biggest accomplishment. He'll be going to med school next year. That's his goal, and has been a great look team player for us through the years. Nick Kuchel's played well in special teams. So, it's a mix of guys, and that's what makes football so interesting. But the big thing is all these guys have been committed, and I think it's probably true in any program for someone to be a senior and finish up their career as a senior. They've gone a hard road, and, paid the price academically, citizenship-wise, as well as football. So I've got tremendous respect for all the guys that are going to be out there Saturday, and all of us are extremely appreciative of what they've given us. It's just been a great group to work with. They've done a lot of good things on the field too, by the way. I mean, that's pretty important too, especially these last 3 years.
Coach, is this a week to look back at? And you don't want to be looked back constantly, but of the stories of how people got to where they were. I think that's what you mentioned.
Yeah, it is. I mean, when you look at, you can't help but think about those things. And we'll do more of it in December, certainly, and after the last game. But it is, and that's a great thing about sports, I think, and it's a great thing about certainly college athletics is everybody's got a different story. And some guys make it through fairly unscathed. A guy like A.J. Eaton, ironically, gets hurt, first week in camp in the NFL. But most guys, incur injury. It's just part of this game, unfortunately. And they go through hardships. We all went through one Saturday, and that's part of the process. It's usually a tough road. But I think they're all going to walk out of here feeling pretty good about what they've accomplished, and they can be awfully proud of what they've done, I think, on the field and in those other areas, too.